episode, we're diving deep into the often overlooked yet incredibly powerful art of delegation. We're talking about more than just assigning tasks. We're discussing how to effectively empower others, boost your own productivity, and build stronger teams. Ready to unlock this superpower, Lily?
Absolutely, Sophia. So many people struggle with delegation, myself included sometimes. It feels like it takes longer to explain the task than to do it myself. But we both know that's a recipe for burnout, right? Let's break down exactly why effective delegation is so crucial and how to make it work.
Exactly. The myth of "I can do it faster myself" is a common trap. But think about it. If you spend your time on tasks others can handle, you're limiting your own potential to focus on higher-level strategic work. It's like trying to build a skyscraper with only a hammer. You might get something done, but it's not nearly as efficient or effective.
That's a fantastic analogy. So where do we even start? What are the key ingredients for successful delegation?
Well, first, we need the right mindset. It's not about dumping unwanted tasks. It's about strategically distributing work based on individual strengths and capabilities. We need to trust our team members and give them the autonomy to succeed. Micromanagement is the enemy here.
Totally. Trust and autonomy are key. I think it also involves a clear understanding of the why behind the task. People are more likely to be engaged and motivated if they understand the broader context and how their work contributes to the bigger picture.
Absolutely. Providing context, not just instructions, is crucial. Think of it like this. Instead of saying, "Write the report," say, "We need this report to present to investors to secure funding for our new project." Your expertise in market analysis is vital for this section, and your strong writing skills will ensure it's persuasive. See the difference?
Huge difference. That second approach makes the person feel valued and invested in the outcome. It's about empowerment, not just task assignment. So, what about choosing the right person for the job? How do we identify who's best suited for a particular task?
That's a crucial step. Consider their skill set, of course, but also their experience level, their workload, and their personality. You want to delegate tasks that align with their strengths and interests to keep them engaged and motivated. Imagine delegating a creative project to someone who prefers highly structured analytical work. It's unlikely to be a great fit for either party.
So true. And what about setting clear expectations? We've talked about context, but what about specific goals, deadlines, and how to measure success?
This is where clear communication is vital. Use the SMART criteria: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Establish clear deliverables, deadlines, and communication channels. Don't just say, "Do your best." Tell them exactly what best looks like in this context.
Excellent point. I think another often overlooked aspect is providing the necessary resources and support. It's not just about giving the task. It's also about providing the tools, information, and training that the person needs to succeed. You wouldn't send someone to build a bridge without giving them the right blueprints and materials, would you?
That's a brilliant analogy, and it's so true. Think about access to relevant databases, software, or even mentorship or guidance. Providing these resources shows your commitment to their success and fosters a sense of trust and collaboration.
Speaking of collaboration, how do we handle challenges that might arise during the delegation process? What if someone gets stuck or there are unexpected roadblocks?
Regular check-ins are essential. Don't just disappear after handing off the task. Create opportunities for feedback and support along the way. These shouldn't feel like interrogations. Frame them as collaborative problem-solving sessions. Remember, it's not about control. It's about guiding and supporting. Ask open-ended questions. How is the project progressing? What challenges are you encountering? Is there anything I can help with?
That's important, and it keeps the communication flowing. But what if, despite your best efforts, the delegated task isn't completed to the standard you expected? How do you address that situation without being overly critical?
That's a tough one, but it's important to remember this isn't about blame, it's about learning and improvement. Instead of directly criticizing, focus on understanding what went wrong. Ask questions like, what challenges did you face? What could we have done differently? And what support would have helped you succeed? This creates a safe space for open and honest feedback. It turns the situation into a learning opportunity, not a performance evaluation.
I love that approach. It's all about fostering a culture of continuous learning and improvement. It's a win-win.
Exactly. And ultimately, successful delegation is about more than just completing tasks. It's about building trust, empowering your team, and creating a more efficient and productive work environment. It's also about focusing your own energy on what you do best, allowing your team to shine in areas where they excel.
It's truly a skill that takes time and practice to master, isn't it? And the rewards are huge. The improved team dynamics, increased productivity, and reduced workload for you are all benefits worth the investment.
Absolutely. And it's also worth remembering that delegation isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. You'll likely need to adjust your approach depending on the individual, the task, and the overall context. Flexibility is key.
So to summarize, effective delegation involves carefully choosing the right person, providing clear instructions and context, offering support and resources, setting clear expectations, establishing regular check-ins, and embracing a culture of feedback and continuous improvement.
Precisely. And remember, it's okay to start small. Don't try to delegate everything at once. Start with smaller tasks and gradually build your confidence and your team's confidence as you go.
And if you find yourself constantly resisting delegation, perhaps you should ask yourself, what am I afraid of losing control of? It might be a fear of not meeting the standards you set, or you could be worried about losing control of your work. You can always delegate specific sections of a project rather than handing over the entire task.
Good point, Lily. It's a process of learning and adaptation for both the delegator and the delegatee.
And one final thought. Delegation isn't just about making your life easier. It's about empowering your team members to grow and develop their skills. It's a win-win situation where everyone benefits. Kind of like sharing a really delicious piece of cake, except the cake is productivity and empowerment.
I love that analogy. And that's a perfect note to end on. Remember, listeners, mastering the art of delegation isn't just about efficiency. It's about building a stronger, more collaborative, and ultimately more successful team. Thanks for joining us today, Lily.
My pleasure, Sophia, and thanks to all our listeners for tuning in. Until next time, happy delegating.
Before we go, I wanted to add a little lighthearted anecdote. I once delegated a complex coding task, and the team member came back with a solution so elegant and efficient, it made me question my own skills. It was a humbling and ultimately